Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dropkick, the Commute for July 8th, 2024. We're the only wrestling podcast on the planet.
It's true.
And, actually, scrap that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dropkick the Bank. Am I right or am I right? I am very clever.
I'm Mufussy in the bank.
No. I'm MrGaleer in the Bank, and that's why I'm gonna win. Because if I win, that's what I'm gonna be called. Yeah, we had money in the. We had a great weekend of wrestling. Let me tell you.
We did. We had a great weekend of wrestling. I would argue, Money in the Bank probably the weakest of the pay-per-views so far this year, but it was still good. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I would say that too. I definitely I was excited going into it, and then when it was over, I was like, yeah, it was good, but we basically predicted it. Almost everything that was going to happen.
Yeah, we did. And I think it truly has been overshadowed by Heatwave. Heatwave was incredible.
Oh, Heatwave was leagues ahead of Money in the Bank. It was so good.
Yeah.
But we are here, and it is Monday, and we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah, brother. Where do you want to start with Money in the Bank?
I was just going to say start right at the beginning.
All right. Right at the beginning, we had the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was very good. It was a good match. A lot of good high spots here. We had nothing crazy, whoa, that was a fucking crazy bump, but we had some, pretty solid spots. In particular, I think Chad Gable really shined here.
Dude, he was out there German suplexing ladders.
Dude, it was so
just for
good.
The hell of it.
He suplexed 3 people in a row, and then he ran out of people, so he took the ladder that was in the corner and suplexed it.
Which is so funny because he doesn't need to lift it up like a person.
Yeah.
I think it made it that much better though.
Yeah.
Chad Gable. I was in and out of this match, but no Wyatt 6 showed up, correct?
Yeah, no Wyatt 6.
Which is a little surprising. I thought that would kind of be, push whatever was going on there. It would kind of be the reason that, he didn't win it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little surprising. There was not any interferences in it.
Which we love.
Yeah, which I was like, damn, okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Chad also right in the beginning. This was very quick at the beginning of the match. Drew was on top of the ladder, and he did an arm bar onto Drew through the ladder. And I was like, holy shit, he's hanging upside down, and then fucking Andrade comes out of nowhere, springboards off the top rope, and fucking leg drops Chad Gable as he's doing the armbar upside down.
This pay-per-view, the men's and the women's matches got hella creative.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it was definitely nutty as we expected. Nothing too crazy on the men's side of things, which isn't bad. And at the end of all of it, what did we say? What did we say would happen?
We said Drew was going to win Money in the Bank, and he did. He fucking won, which leads us into later. Do we jump right into it?
Let's go right ahead.
Drew fucking wins Money in the Bank, and we said we want him to cash in and get fucked up. And that is exactly what happened. But let's start off with the match itself. Damian Priest.
Match was great.
Seth Rollins. It was a great match. It was so good. Damian Priest is such a good performer, and I hate that people shit on him so much.
Well,
I hate it.
People are picking him apart because he's a mid-card guy who became world champion.
Yeah.
But arguably, since becoming world champion, he's no longer a mid-card guy.
No.
Not just because of that.
Yeah.
Because he's proven. And some people are using, obviously, the thing that happened at Money in the Bank, where there was a weird incident where Seth hit a Falcon Arrow, and then the ref counted only 2. nobody kicked out. At first, I thought maybe it was like the arm that Seth was sitting on that, like, he got the shoulder up there and we didn't see it, but then I was like, no, okay.
Yeah.
And then, so it could have either been a few things. We could have either had, what I think is the more plausible option, which is he was out for like a minute.
Yeah.
There was that. There was also people saying that Drew's music was supposed to interrupt the count.
Yep.
Which I guess could work. Or you have the third option, which honestly, now that I think about it, I think the ref went into business for himself.
You think so?
I really do. Yeah, I really do. I think he wanted to steal the show, and he wanted to get people talking about him, and guess what? It worked. And no, but I think
fucking ref.
I honestly think he was out because it looked like he was out. Just from what I could see. Because you could do the Drew music interrupting the count, but that doesn't really make sense. Like, the ref could still count. Like, the match is still happening.
The ref could still count, but realistically, like, in cases where we have had interruptions, the ref stops counting. Like, that's happened where everyone turns and they're all like, what the fuck? You know? So,
right.
Like, it does seem likely, but I do think, like, he was probably just out. He was out.
Yeah. No, we never really got a clear answer, so...
Yeah. And they did ask Triple H about it in the press conference, and Triple H was like, yo, man, like, there are fucking people in a ring. Like, mistakes happen. It is what it is. And he's like, ref's decision is final. Which is my favorite Triple H answer. It's,
I think it's good. And so Drew's music hit shortly. I think it was like right after that count, honestly.
Yeah.
People were very confused, but then people stopped caring. Drew came out, said, I'm cashing in. He turns it into a triple threat.
Yep.
He's cleaning up house. He's fucking tossing Seth and Damien around. And I want to say he's about to claymore Damien?
Yes. Yeah.
And Punk's music hits, yeah? Or no, his music doesn't even hit. He just comes out.
Yeah, he just comes in from the commentary area. Apparently, he was under the ring for an hour. What I read. So he was sitting under there, and yeah, he.
Wait, so was he? He was under there during the fucking like Braun Sammy match. And all
must have been. Yeah.
That's funny.
So, he was under the ring. He comes out, like, pulls Drew out of the ring, and he takes a chair and just starts fucking berating him with it. Just beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, dude. It was exactly what we predicted.
Yep.
And people are very divided on it. Because people are like, you wasted a cash-in.
Dude, I saw a fucking tweet that boiled my blood. It said, failed cash-ins need to stop happening. This is ridiculous. It's, this pay-per-view was pointless. And I'm like, what do you mean they need to stop happening? Both were successful last year.
Yeah.
And the year before that, Theory failed.
Exactly. Yep.
The Theory failed, but then the year before that, fucking Big E won. So what do you mean need to stop happening? They're talking about it like it happens once a week. Like,
right.
No. Shut up.
It's a little far-fetched to be like they're pointless.
Yeah.
It's like it's been the concept of the match for years, and people have failed cash-ins. It's like a normal thing.
Yeah.
I could see the perspective of like, oh, you should have given it to like a Chad Gable, or like a lot of people wanted Jey Uso to win.
Yeah.
I think it's okay, and this helped. Like, yeah, sure. Punk probably could have just screwed Drew's chances of winning the ladder match itself, and honestly, like, if that happened, I would have been fine with that too.
Right. But this adds to the blood feud. Like it.
Yeah, exactly. It adds to the blood feud. He's seething hatred for Punk.
Yeah.
Literally, Drew. You know, if he got screwed in the ladder match, he would have been inches away from having the briefcase. But this one, he was inches away from the world title once again.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's on fire. Drew in the post show.
Oh my god.
Fucking cleaned. He just like came out shirtless and he was screaming in the camera. I couldn't even hear what he was saying.
He said, "Punk, I'm gonna kill you. I know where you live." That's what he said. And
so
yeah, a bunch of refs came out. He shoved them out of the way. Adam Pearce came out. He fucking elbowed him. And then Wade Barrett was the one to get up and like cool him off a little bit. And then after that, Adam Pearce tweeted today that Drew and Punk both got fined and Drew is indefinitely suspended. That's what he said.
And did you see Drew's
and
retweet?
Drew called him what, an incompetent bald bitch.
Yeah. he was like, if you were doing your job, then you wouldn't have gotten caught in the crossfire, you bald bitch.
Yeah.
Which I love. He's just like tweeting like a 13-year-old.
Yeah, and then Adam Pearce said, your fine's just been doubled. Here's some free advice. Stop tweeting.
Delete the app. Yeah, man.
So it's adding to the feud, man. It's gold. I love it.
It's time, dude. It's time. Put him in a ring.
Yeah, and
put him in a...
just going back to the failed cash-in thing too is like, I don't get why people are so mad about the failed cash-ins, because it's not a guaranteed title win. It's a guaranteed title shot. And having the failure to it adds to the allure of like, oh shit, like, is this gonna happen? Is it not? If it was guaranteed every time, then that'd be lame. It'd be like
the odds. They literally break down the. Obviously, it's all scripted, but they break down the odds based on history, and like they're mostly positive. That does not mean anything.
Yeah, and even the women's is 100%. But still, the fact that it could fail, it adds to the allure. Is like, Tiffany won the women's one. Is she going to be the first one to fail? Like, it adds to it, you know?
She could. Yeah. Yeah, who's to say? It's all fucking scripted, brother.
Yeah. Like, it's so goofy.
I feel like to get mad at something, I guess like as a booking decision, but like, I don't know. There have been losers. It's not a new thing. You're just mad because Jey Uso didn't win.
Right. Pretty much.
Which I get, man. It would be cool if he won, but like everything just lined up here, and they still, you know, it wasn't the match of the night, but they still put on a good match.
Yeah. Because
another thing that I want to point out about the cash-in was that I was worried leading up to this match. I was like, there's no way Damian beats Seth clean. But what they did here was great because Damian pins Drew to retain the championship, keeping Seth unscathed. Thought it was,
Seth
really,
rolled
really
out of the
move.
ring and he was protected essentially. But they still had the stipulation where if he lost, he can't challenge again for it, which is fine. But he is protected. He didn't lose to Damian. And Damian gets to stay in the Judgment Day, but it's gonna break up soon anyway. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
we got a Gunther match too.
Yeah. I really liked the match. It just sucks it was overshadowed by like to some people. It wasn't overshadowed to me, but it was overshadowed to some people by, him not kicking out.
I just hate how that defined his whole performance.
It sucks because it was so good.
It was like 5 seconds of a very good, like, 20-minute match.
Yeah.
And I saw someone was like, oh, first he botched, like, jumping over the ropes at Clash of the Castle, which, mind you, is not a fucking easy thing to do, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
it looked like people were saying it was an issue with the ropes. So cut the guy some slack. You're lucky he didn't fucking like smash his head on the apron and like fall on his neck. Yeah, like are you dense? And people are acting like their favorite champions have never messed up during their championship runs. Like, I can count bro, every fucking wrestler makes mistakes. It's like, just name a perfect fucking wrestler, and that's not even cope. That's just like how it is.
Everyone thinks that they're experts, and they're not, man.
Well, we are.
Well, yeah, we are. Obviously, we're journalists and analysts and professional viewers.
But you know who wasn't an expert on Saturday?
Who?
Braun Breaker, when he tried capturing the Intercontinental. The Intercontinental!
The Intercontinental! Oh my god. Also,
crazy.
guys, just
this
to say, we're not actually experts. We're fucking...
We're not, yeah,
we're
don't take it. Yeah, we're fans. We have to say this every time.
We do, or else no one's going to believe it. Yeah, Braun Breaker failed at capturing the gold. I'm over it, man. I'm over it.
Super Sammy.
High key, listen, I don't think I wanted Sammy to win at WrestleMania. I'm going to say it. I don't think I wanted him to.
No, I didn't. I wanted Gable to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It was Gable's match to have. I don't know. That has never... I've never doubted that once. Like, Sammy shouldn't have been the one to... I'll say this. I think Gunther needed to lose at Mania, so I'll disagree.
I agree.
That way. Like,
well, no, I think I agree with you though. Where I think Gable should have been at Mania and won.
It should have been Gable and not Sammy. But Sammy, given that it was Sammy, it was a good match, and like it's been a good run. It's just like Braun Breaker was built to be this fucking force of nature that killed everybody, and then you put him in front of Sami Zayn, who like comparatively isn't really like physically like up to snuff with Braun Breaker. Like, yeah, Braun could run circles around him. Is what I'm trying to say. But I think they just want to keep pushing this
underdog
super Sammy underdog. I'm gonna defend and win the match at the pay-per-view
because I am great.
I have heart, which is cool. But Sammy, I think it's time to give it up.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
I'm over it.
Give him a rematch. Have it go to Braun. Yeah. Braun has to go back to the drawing board. He like learns his mistakes, and he comes back and he fucks it up.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Again, good match. They had a lot of back and forth, but I guess on paper, like, I don't know. I had the thought in my head the whole time where Braun should just be fucking destroying him. Like, that was my thought the entire time.
You were like, why isn't he dying?
Yeah, like, I don't know. You're fucking going around Raw spearing literally everybody you see. Just spear the man. That's what I was thinking the entire time. I'm like, you should literally be destroying him. But
yeah, I don't know.
If that thought wasn't in my head the whole time, yeah, it was a good match.
It was a good match. Yeah. It was a good match. I will admit, I was playing a little bit of Kirby Nightmare and Dreamlands off the side, so I wasn't fully paying attention, but like from my peripheral, it was a pretty good match.
Yeah. Peripheral.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what else was good from the peripherals? John Cena came out.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, I had to pause Kirby for this one actually. we were playing co-op. Me and Anna were playing co-op. I was like, hang on, John Cena's on the screen.
Yeah.
And I scooched my chair right up and just I watched this whole thing, and John Cena is going on a retirement tour.
It's true.
2025 will be his last year of competing.
It will be his retirement farewell tour. He answered some questions during the post show. He's going to be doing 30 to 40 shows throughout the year. It's going to be his last WrestleMania. He said he wants to be in the Rumble. So it seems like we're going to get him for most of the PLEs, I imagine. And then probably, you know, some Raws and SmackDowns leading up to that. But he's a busy man. He's still filming things.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2025 will be the final year of Cena.
Damn, it's crazy. I'm tuned in for this. I'm locked in.
Yeah, me too.
It's gonna be good. People were asking if he thinks he's gonna break Ric Flair's record, and he was like, I don't know, maybe.
He was like, the Rumble's a good chance for that.
Yeah, I specifically remember him being like, yeah, that would be nice, but I kind of have been losing like over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So John Cena retiring is pretty huge. You know, I think you and I both grew up watching Cena.
It's true.
I grew up definitely during the Super Cena era where he was just tossing the WWE Championship between like Randy Orton and The Miz and The Rock and CM Punk and all that shit. So
no moment. He could have the best run of his life. This could be the biggest thing of his career, but nothing will reach him standing on a commentary table with an American flag in hand saying, "We have neutralized Osama bin Laden."
I don't even think he had an American flag. I thought
he did.
Maybe he did. I couldn't. I don't remember. But yeah,
that's what's in my brain.
Bigger. Dude, it's a great moment. I'd say if we're talking about actual wrestling, though.
No.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
John Cena, like, he was huge to me because, like I said, I used to watch WrestleMania 23 a lot because that was the one I had on DVD, and that was
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, main event of that show was him versus Shawn Michaels, and he came out in a Mustang. He smashed through this glass panel, and then he came out when his music hit from the Mustang. And then he walked to the ring, and I was like, "That's badass. That's John Cena.
He's so cool."
Yeah, and he retained at that WrestleMania, and it was just a good match to see, you know, as a kid, a lot.
Well, that's why he's the face of the company. He put on matches. He was the face of the company during an era where the audience was mostly children, not mostly, but good chunk was children. He was the hero that they needed during the PG era. And you know what? The PG era kind of sucked, but John Cena made it good until people started booing him.
Yeah. And my favorite match of all time is him versus RVD, ECW One Night Stand.
Great.
It's my favorite match of all time. Yeah.
So it's a good time. But I think we're gonna get some good stuff out of Cena. For sure, I could see, at least if he's not winning a title, I could see him in a title match or two. Potentially U.S. title, potentially world title, because people are probably going to want to hope for that. I would love to see it.
I would
see
too.
Him win number 17. Even if he just held it for like a few months, or even if they did like a Sting Derby and he just won it and then vacated it after.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's a lot of fantasy booking wet dreams.
Lots of possibilities.
Yeah, so we'll wait and see. Cena's gonna go back to doing what was it? Fucking
Peacemaker season 2.
Peacemaker.
Yeah. Speaking of
Peacemaker, we had the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yes. First half of the match to me was a little rough. I don't know. They took a minute to get into it.
Yeah. Well, I also think, when you think about it, I think more than half the people in the match, or half the people in the match, have never done Money in the Bank before.
It's true.
Lyra, Tiffany, I don't think Chelsea Green's been in Money in the Bank. I could be wrong.
That was Chelsea Green.
But Chelsea Green can hang. Like,
oh yeah,
she'll fucking take a bump through falling off a ladder through 2 tables. She don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But no, I think it definitely like took a while to pick up, pacing wise. But once they got going, it was like very entertaining, very like consistent, very just constantly moving.
Yeah, they had like the whole time for the second half of the match, they had like the ladders in the middle, and then they had the 2 ladders like on the ropes with making like bridges.
Yeah,
that was like they were there like the whole time. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think, like I said, in the second half, I think their performance was like really good. Definitely the better. Like, once they picked up and got into that pace, then I was glued to it. I was like, damn, this is crazy. And yeah, Chelsea Green obviously took the biggest bump of the night. Like, she got pushed off of a ladder onto 2 tables, and that shit was high up. She overcame her fear of heights.
Sure was. That terrifying. And Io Sky was out there throwing herself around a little bit too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know who it was with, but Lyra was like hanging upside down from the ladder.
Yep.
And I want to say someone was like climbing above her, and she like pulled herself up and just to rip them off the ladder above her.
Yeah, that was crazy. Lyra, she had a little thing at the beginning with Io when she like slipped on the rope, but that was probably one of the best saves from a botch that I've ever seen. She like was on the top rope, and then she slipped, and she wrapped herself around the top rope and managed to swing herself into a DDT on Io, and I was like, holy shit. Like, that was a good save.
And that's why she's over, dude.
Yeah.
She's getting there. If not over, she's getting over with a lot more people every time she goes out there.
For sure.
Myself included. She's really, really good. And she's even got the crowd doing a little thing during her entrance where they're like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
Ooh. Which is very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we we predicted it, right? It's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time. Yeah, I'm glad Tiffany Stratton won. Tiffany Stratton, I think, is probably, I don't want to say, there's something about her style where she's like a good striker, but then obviously she does the high flying shit too with like the world's prettiest moonsault.
She's very well rounded. She's like a Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not just because they like look similarly. Like they have very similar builds and stuff.
Right.
But like her style is very much tailored.
Very Charlotte.
And
yeah, that's a good comparison.
I wouldn't be surprised if she like cites Charlotte Flair as like an influence.
Charlotte,
how she wrestles.
She's probably going to be back by the end of the year, I imagine.
Give me that
I would
match.
hope so.
That'd be good.
Because she's, what was hers, an ACL? Or an MCL?
I don't even know. I don't even remember the last time she was on TV.
I know she got injured, and she's been in rehab for, like, months. So, I want to say it was an ACL tear. Similar to, like, Cora Jade, because Cora Jade also tore her ACL.
Right. Charlotte can come back. She doesn't need to win another title, though. They always bring her back, and then they have her win championships, like, fucking...
Like, so quick.
Like, so quickly, and just, like, killing everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some big, annoying, gimmicky shit with the briefcase for
yeah.
Tiffany.
She, did you see what she said in the post show?
Yeah, she's gonna make it look like a purse.
She's like, I'm gonna bedazzle this, add another handle.
I'm not gonna lie, her post-show interview kind of sucked. Like her press conference interview.
Yeah.
It was very just like, but also people were kind of asking
dumb questions.
Yeah. Yeah, like they were like, oh, so like, what's your plan on like cashing in? And she's like, well, I can't tell you. And then someone else asked like, what's your plan on cashing in on this person? And she's like, well, I still can't tell you.
Yeah.
It was also like very rushed. It was like a 5-minute thing.
Yeah, well, that's because John Cena
took all the questions.
John Cena literally the whole time, he's like, okay, one more. Okay, one more. Okay, one more.
I'm sure they planned for this shit. They knew what they were doing. But yeah. No, that was funny. He was like, okay, all right, okay, one more. Just yell at me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, very good. Congrats to Tiffany Stratton. Definitely going to be a future women's champion. I think she'll succeed on a cash-in.
You think so? Keep it the 100%?
I think I will say for one unsuccessful cash-in, there should be a successful cash-in.
Yeah.
At the very least. So, I think we'll see that.
I thought it was funny what they did with the boys' sponsorship for this. Both briefcases have By Vought International on them, which were
really?
So if you go look at them, like they have the Vought International logo on the briefcases, and then during commercial they had a special message from CEO of Vought International, Ashley, and she was like,
that's who that was. I was like, who the hell is this?
Yeah, so she's from the boys, and she was like, yeah, I'm so glad we could provide these contracts for these wrestlers so that they can, cash in just like Homelander and be a champion like Homelander. It was like really funny.
Interesting crossover.
Yeah. But they did it well,
Yeah. I didn't know that until now. I didn't even question it either. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
This is some random lady on my screen. You told me you were like, bloodline matches last, and I was like, what? And then you were like, people think Roman's gonna come back.
I didn't say people think. I said I think.
Oh, this was a you thing?
This was a me thing. I was thinking
widely...
if the bloodline match was last, I feel like it would be a good time to bring Roman back. Like,
I think it's too soon.
I don't think it's too soon, because when John Cena came back in Money in the Bank, he came back in Money in the Bank and then had a SummerSlam match. SummerSlam's only a month away.
Yeah. Well, but the only difference is John Cena is a part-timer. Roman Reigns, was the champion.
Yeah, I mean, he's also a part-timer, though.
I mean, yeah, but at least he was, like, technically active roster, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, so, I think, when you think about it, WrestleMania was in April. It's only been 3 months. That's really not that long for... I mean, like, it's been enough time for them to establish, like, the new bloodline is like, all right, we need Roman back here to, like, fix this shit.
Yeah.
But I'd say give it a little longer and give us a, like you said, Survivor Series as the payoff.
Is he going to come back at SummerSlam?
He might. He's done it before. Actually, he came back SummerSlam 2020.
That's true.
He came back from his COVID.
That's the first thing I ever watched. From the COVID.
And you never, SummerSlam, you'll never see it coming. And he came.
And he came.
He came, and then thus started
That's the first PLE I watched back.
That's crazy.
On the WWE Network.
Actually, I remember it being very solid because that was when Dominic debuted.
Yep.
And we also had, I want to say it was Street Profits versus the New Day, which was a really good tag team match. And then it was Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman, I think, because that's when they were doing that whole thing. Pay-per-view quality during the pandemic aside, it was all things considered, it was good.
And it was so funny because that's the first pay-per-view I watched back, and Roman came back, and I don't remember if I asked you or not, but I was like, who's Roman? I was like, who's Roman Reigns?
No, Shaw, you definitely knew who Roman
No, I
Reigns
didn't.
was.
I did not see. I didn't see any of that. That was during the time that I didn't watch. I had no idea who Roman Reigns was. I'm not kidding.
Look at us now. Who would have thought?
Look at us now. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that Solo would be the one to pin Cody?
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, this
so
match.
that match is greenlit for SummerSlam for sure.
100%.
Because now they're gonna be like, he pinned Cody. Now Cody is gonna lose because of him in a one-on-one.
Yeah. This match was like your typical, like, I don't know, your typical bloodline tag, right? Like, it was nothing crazy the whole match, but then shit got out of control. The ref got fucking murdered twice, and of course, we had some bloodline shenanigans, but then we also had shenanigans from the good guys too. They saw their moment and they RKO'd Solo a couple times. They fucking went for the pin. We had a kick out, and then ultimately, yeah, Solo fucking pinned Cody. So
yeah, it was not the result I was expecting, but also because I did misconstrued what you said. I thought Roman was gonna show up, so I was like, "Oh boy, where is he? Where is he?"
It does make sense, though. It makes sense that it would be rushed. Now that Jacob Fatu is here, and they just took out Paul Heyman, like, I think they're gonna wreak some more havoc, go fucking crazy, maybe recruit one more, who knows, and then
Hikuleo.
Yeah, and then fucking Roman's gonna come back and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Roman's gonna come back with Paul Heyman.
You think so?
I think so. Or
what if
Paul Heyman's gonna come back on his own and he's like in some deep doo-doo, and then Roman comes back and Paul Heyman like comes in his pants.
What if Roman comes back with The Rock, right? Comes back with The Rock and Paul Heyman, both of them, but then The Rock's been behind the new bloodline the whole time, and The Rock's like, "You dumb bitch, you stupid son of a bitch, you didn't win at WrestleMania." He's like, "You disgraced our family." So then, The Rock is the fifth member for
final
Survival.
Boss, thank you.
The final boss is the fifth member for Survivor Series, and it's gonna be Team Final Boss versus Team Roman.
Boom, psh, boom, boom, psh, boom, psh, yeah, Survivor Series. I'm excited for it, and it's like 6 months away.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I'm calling it now.
Yeah,
I'm calling it now.
Okay, clip it.
Clip it.
So we can
post
reference it later. I found a a Discord message from me. I don't know who I sent it to, but it was from 2021, and it was like, screenshot this so I can refer back to it when it happens. But Keith Lee is winning the Rumble next year. And then they bearcatted him, dude. And then he went to AEW, and then they cinder blocked him, dude. Crushing my dreams.
Poor Keith.
This is why I don't predict things, because this is why I don't dream book, because they never happen.
Well, you dream booked CM Punk, and that worked.
Yeah, I dream booked Hangman Adam Page, but so did the rest of the world.
Yeah, but you know.
Why are you trying to make me feel better?
'Cause you're right sometimes, buddy.
You're just trying to let me down easy.
Let me down easy. Let me down easy. Yeah, Money in the Bank was mid. Not mid, it was good.
Give it a rating. I give it 2.5.
I give it 2.75. Hey, join us for Heatwave on the next episode. Heatwave fucking cooked, brother.
Heatwave fucked.
Heatwave was hot, spicy, fire. Ego.
That's just a little palate cleanser. You'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah, join us for the next episode when we talk about Heatwave, and then we're going to do another one where we talk about Raw, NXT, and Collision, because Collision was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Also, we pushed our guest for reasons, so no guest yet. We'll let you know when we have a guest.
Everything is fine.
Everything's perfectly fine.
Everything is fine. The guest is fine. Nobody
Yeah.
got hurt. We just had to move some stuff around.
Yeah, I had to move some stuff around. But anyways,
TBA.
Galeer, thank you for having me in your car again today.
Of course. Y'all, if you like this stuff, be sure to give it a like and a follow, a subscription. Follow us on our socials, TikTok, Twitter, X, I guess if you want to call it
And
that.
give us money if you want. Money!
You can go follow us on Ko-Fi, Coffee. Still don't know what it's pronounced.
We'll figure
You've
it out
been going
someday.
Ko-Fi, so I guess we'll call it Ko-Fi.
I like Ko-Fi better. There's a dash. Makes it like Ko-Fi.
Okay. Ko-Fi. Go give us money, or don't. The best way you can support us is by sharing this stuff with your friends, liking it, and telling us what you thought about Money in the Bank.
Hell yeah, brother. Beep, beep.
Ooh.